Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much for having us. It's an honor. I would like to start with the coronavirus, the pandemic. Israel and Cyprus dealt very well with this pandemic. And now the governments are talking about cooperation, especially in tourism, since the economy went down with this pandemic. Tell us first the results in Israel about dealing with this pandemic and the prospects in cooperation with Cyprus.
Σας ευχαριστώ πολύ για την ευκαιρία που μου δίνετε. Yes, Israel put a lot of effort to deal with the pandemic from the start by closing its borders when it was necessary, by giving clear instructions about people coming from abroad, also keeping physical distancing, wearing masks. And of course, we have also in Israel a very strong high-tech innovation sector, which played an important role in facing the coronavirus. I'm also very pleased that between Israel and Cyprus we managed to establish a very strong cooperation, because this virus is an unknown, still is unknown. But in the beginning, just 2 months, 3 months ago, it was even more unknown. But from the start, we decided to work closely with Cyprus to see what is the best protocol to treat patients, what kind of medicines are needed, and generally to exchange experience. And I'm very pleased that we managed to do it. And both, I think, we have to be very cautious, but we can say right now that both Israel and Cyprus were very successful in facing the COVID-19 coronavirus.
So Israel and Cyprus are among the countries on top of the list that dealt with this in very good terms. And now they're talking about, with Greece, they're talking about cooperating, about tourism, to exchange tourists maybe, and help each other's economy. If you can tell us at what stage are the talks between the governments, and when can we see this happen?
Yes, we started last week process together with the Minister of Transport of Cyprus, together with the Deputy Minister of Tourism, together also with the Ministry of Health, with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, with the civil aviation authorities, to a work of establishing a protocol that will enable to renew the aviation connection between Israel and Cyprus. This is a very strong connection. Our countries are very close to each other. It's just a 40-minute flight. And just last year we had 300,000 Israelis coming to Cyprus for tourism. So we believe it is a very important priority to renew it. Of course, we have to do it on a very solid basis. We are still in uncharted territory, you could say, and we have to form a very good basis. I believe that the cooperation that we have between Israel and Cyprus on medical issues is very important. Also, the fact that we relatively well control the coronavirus is important. But as we move forward, we should ensure the safety of the travelers, the health of the travelers. This is something very, very important. That's why we will establish, and we're working to establish through the experts, a gradual process, a very transparent process, and also a process which will be monitored and well controlled.
Mm-hmm. So each country is going to prepare its own protocol, and if the other country accepts it, it's okay? Or you're working on creating a joint protocol to agree on an joint protocol that something will be for Israel, for Greece, for Cyprus. It's going to be a joint effort.
No, it's a joint effort between Israel and Cyprus. We enjoy very close relations between our heads of state, between our ministers, also between experts level. And that's why we formed a working group that will prepare all the conditions to renew the air connection in order for it to be very well established on safe ground, which will ensure the health of the passengers. And this will be done in consultation between the two countries. The two countries will work together. We will establish this. And I truly believe that we have to minimize the risks. Definitely there are risks. But if we work together, we can minimize the risks. And also, what is very important, that we can open new opportunities, economic opportunities, which are very, very important for our two countries at this moment.
Mm-hmm. If we can talk more practical, if you can, or if we have something more concrete, because we saw some decisions in Greece saying that a passenger, a tourist, must take the test 3 days before he or she travels, etc. Because people are interested. Do we have a more concrete thoughts of what the traveler is going to face, or someone who wants to visit Israel, a Cypriot that wants to have their vacation in Israel, what they're going to have to face?
Yes. Well, first of all, we have to say that the situation that we are facing today is not the same that was a few months ago before the coronavirus. There will be definitely a change needed. The working group is going to establish all the necessary protocols. So let's say the details will going to be established by the working group. But of course, we have to recognize that even within each state, we are still maintaining rules like physical distancing. Like in Israel, it's mandatory to wear masks when you're outside. Of course, maintaining hygiene in very high level. Also a combination of tests and other issues which are very important to face the coronavirus. We're doing it internally, and certainly when we establish the joint connection, this will be part of the cooperation between Israel and Cyprus. Mm-hmm. I cannot say exactly what the working group, exactly each detail, but it's definitely going to be based on what we gained as experience between the two countries. And as I can say that our two countries are following more or less the same kind of regulations and protocols. So I think there is a very strong possibility that we will manage to establish this joint agreement between us.
It shouldn't be something, Mr. Ambassador, though, that should prohibit the tourist in any country. Let's say if it's mandatory to take a test before or after, or if at the hotels, and I'm talking about any country, even if we do this in Cyprus or in Greece, it should be a little bit easier on the travelers. Yes, safety and health issues, but we shouldn't prohibit and make it hard for them.
Yes, I agree with you, but it's going to be a gradual process. We cannot go immediately and, to the last. We still are facing a great challenge, which is a coronavirus. It is still a very big challenge that we are facing. So we will have to be very gradual, very transparent, very careful in order to maintain the safety and the health of all the travelers. Once we reach an agreement, this will be implemented in a very gradual way. I believe it will open economic opportunities quite quickly for business people, for people who travel to exchange expertise. And gradually, I really hope that also quite soon that it will also be able to open new doors for tourism. Mm-hmm. But again, it's going to be a very gradual process with very well control points, just to make sure that we are maintaining the most important thing, which is the health of the people of Israel and Cyprus, and of course all the travelers.
Mm-hmm. And June is nearly here, and July. Are you optimistic that the two countries will manage to reach an agreement, and soon we'll have announcements about this?
Well, it's a mixture of optimism and to be careful, mm-hmm. because if we learned something in the last few months, is that there are many things that we still don't know about the virus. So we have to be very, very careful. On the other hand, I can be optimistic because really our relationship has grown in the last few years and become very close. There is a great deal of trust between Israel and Cyprus. We are very close countries. We share also, in a large extent, a common vision for our region. We live in a region where there are many unfortunately, many extremists who desire to destabilize the region. The prosperity of the people of the region, let's say, is not the first priority for them. Our country, Cyprus and Israel, share the same vision. We really want to ensure the best future possible for our people, which means also having close relations, very intensive, dynamic economic relations, and opening new horizons for our next generation, for our young generation. For example, on technological innovation, on startups, and many other issues.
Talking about stability in the region, I would like to ask you about stability in the region that we don't have lately because of Turkey's continuous invasion in the Eastern Mediterranean. We had last year the meeting of the three leaders, Greece, Cyprus and Israel, with Mr. Pompeo in Greece. I know that everything is on hold now because of the pandemic, but is this cooperation continuing? We will see more meetings like this and more things about the energy cooperation between these countries.
First of all, I want to say regarding Turkey's activities in the EEZ of Cyprus and its recent acts that we are following this with great concern. We express full solidarity. I myself also expressed personal solidarity with Cyprus on this issue. And we recognize fully the rights of Cyprus in its exclusive economic zone. Of course, the cooperation between us on the trilateral level between Israel, Cyprus and Greece is very important. As we said many times in the past, this is not something that we do against anybody. This is something that we do for our countries. It is not intended to send a message to anybody else. It is intended for our countries to pursue what they believe in. And they believe in stability in this region, security in this region, prosperity, and a better future, a future of understanding between our people. This is what we want. And also, as you mentioned, we are cooperating on these issues with the United States of America. The United States of America is the most important ally Israel has. And we are very pleased that it is participating with us also in the trilateral process to enhance these goals of stability, of security, and prosperity for our region.
Which were a topic in yesterday's meeting of Mr. Pompeo with Prime Minister of Israel. He paid a visit yesterday.
Of course, it's a very important visit. First visit by the Secretary of State of the United States of America after this period that we have been facing the COVID-19 coronavirus. It is very important that we face, as I said, the extremists in our region, and for Israel, for the United States, and we believe for the whole Middle East, for Europe, for Cyprus as well, the most dangerous phenomena is the involvement of Iran in the region. Iran has a leadership which is very extremist, based on radical ideology, and it is exporting its ideology to other countries in the region. It's also putting important means, military means, whether it's in Syria, in Lebanon. It is assisting Hezbollah, which is a terrorist organization recognized also by many EU countries as a terrorist organization. It is militarizing Hezbollah to develop more missiles, more attacking methods for terrorism. And as long as we don't deal with Iran in a very clear way, Israel, United States, but also Europe, if we don't send a clear message to the Iranians, if we don't unite in this quest to face the Iranian threat, this will be a very dangerous development in our region. And this was a major topic in the visit of the Secretary of State Pompeo in Israel.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. It was an honor. Thank you very much. If you would like to say something to close the interview, send a message maybe to the Cypriot people, or say anything you want.
Well, I want to say to the Cypriot people that the relationship that we build between Israel and Cyprus is very important for us. We cannot find in all of the region a better friend than Cyprus. And I believe also for Cyprus there is no better friend than Israel. We should use this friendship to develop also new horizons for our people, because we are certainly now, after the coronavirus, entering a new era. There are many risks and we have to minimize them, but there are also many opportunities for both of our countries and for the region. We should do it in medical cooperation, we should do it in innovation, also on issues like green technology, to safeguard our environment. We should do it on research on many issues, also, for example, on cybersecurity. I believe that if we do this, this will open many new horizons, many new opportunities also for our young generation, and this is something which is at the core of our work here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.